Hello, this is Father Michael Nasser coming to you this week's midweek reflection from St. Nicholas Orthodox Church here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And today is February 2nd. It is 2/2/22, February 2nd, 2022, which in the Orthodox Church is the feast of the presentation of Christ to the temple. And for the rest of the world, it's Groundhog Day. And I think there's a nice what's the word? A congruence, a confluence, that's a better word, of how these two celebrations come together. Let's tackle Groundhog Day first. I was up early, as I typically am, and especially on Groundhog Day, I like to tune in and see what's going on in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, where actually my wife Vicki and I, we went the first year we were married, actually made the trek to Punxsutawney, just missed the prognosticator of prognosticators. We got there just after, but we got to take a picture with Punxsutawney Phil. Anyway, it's a day that the whole, well, not the whole world, lots of people tune in to see what's this rodent, overgrown rodent going to say about the next 6 weeks. Is it 6 more weeks of winter, which is actually what I'm looking at right now at my window, because it's snowing here in Grand Rapids as it is in half the country, I think, today. Or is it going to be an early spring? And I think a lot of us, if we're honest, would acknowledge that we spend a lot of our time looking to the future. And I'm not going to talk today so much about worrying. I've talked about that and I'll talk about it another day. But assuming that we know what the future holds. So, Punxsutawney Phil came out. He saw his shadow, I guess, and that means 6 more weeks of winter. And so lots of people today are going, oh, I can't believe 6 more weeks of this. When the reality is, we don't know. We don't know how much winter there's going to be. And even if there is 6 more weeks of winter, we don't know what that's going to bring for us. We don't know anything for certain in terms of what that's going to be, how easy or how hard it's going to be. And because we keep trying to work to distinguish between easy, hard, and good and bad, we don't know how bad that's going to be. Even if it is going to be hard, we don't know that's going to be bad. We've talked about that before. But for today, I just want us to stop and reflect on the fact that we don't predict the future. None of us do. Even weather, we've talked about weather forecasting, how limited that can be from time to time or almost every day. But if we could just convince ourselves that we don't have any special powers to see the future, then we have to be open to the fact that the future is a book that's yet unwritten, at least for us. Now, there are saints in the Orthodox Church that were able to see the future, and that's because God gave them that blessing because they could handle it. I mean, the fact that some of the saints knew when they were going to die, and that was a blessing for them. Now, for most of us, if we knew we were going to die in a day or 3 days or a week, we'd go crazy. We can't handle that kind of news. God, in His mercy, says to us, live one moment at a time. You get the present. You can remember the past. You can hope for, dream of, think about, even worry about if you choose the future, but you can't change it. You can't know what's going to happen. All you can do is live in the present and be open to the future that God's going to give us. Now, there are some things we can do in the present. We can think about what we can do that can prepare us for the future. Some things that come out the top of my head. We can pray so we are stronger spiritually. We can take care of the bodies that God gives us to be as prepared for whatever challenges are going to come. But the reality is we can't know it and we can't control it. So on this day of prognostication, where the prognosticators, Punxsutawney Phil is predicting the future, we have the other celebration today, which is the presentation of Christ, the fact that Christ was presented to the temple and was revealed as a source of light. He illumines the world. He is the light of the world. In St. Simeon's words on the event we celebrate today, he's the light to lighten the Gentiles, not just the Jewish people that were given access to a degree to the light of God throughout the Old Testament. Now this light is given to the whole world. And that's the only thing we really need to focus on. If Christ really is the light of the world, then we don't need to think about what the future is going to hold. We just need to look at the light that He shines on us today, in the present, now, see what it is He's showing us now, and take all the attention we're putting to worry and fear and doubt and this assumption that we know what the future brings when we really have no clue. So, if we could wipe out our illusion of forecasting the future, live in the present, and realize that the light of Christ illumines our present with his love, with his peace, with his mercy, then we're going to absorb those things and we're going to share those things. And that's something we really can do that may affect someone's future, our own or the people around us. But it's something we can do now because of the light of Christ that he gives us now. So let's go with that illusion of being people that can predict the future. We don't know it, and therefore let's not act like we know it. Let's live in the present moment where the light of Christ illumines everything that we need to see. So, a blessed Feast of Presentation. Happy Groundhog's Day. And God willing, we'll see you in our next video. God bless.